we're all gamers, and for most of our lives, like most gamers, we've been on the hunt for new games. We started looking at different games and realizing that most games have limits. There are these ceilings, and you bump into those ceilings too many times, it starts to get dull. But here we have this role-playing game. It started with Dungeons and Dragons for most of us. Now it's Pathfinder for us, and we just keep coming back to it. We tried card games, video games, war games, miniatures, real-time strategy, turn-based strategy. But that table, man, the camaraderie of friends sharing a story around a table, pretending to be heroes. And you pick up the dice, and bang! Just like that, you can save the world.
Oh my God!
It was a 20!
It was a 20! It spun over! You got that on camera.
Of course, you can't always be a kid burning up your days and nights. Life is going to change. It's going to creep in. Ask anybody who plays RPGs, and there will be a story about how their group broke up. So, to deal with all the obstacles that life throws at a group of friends, college, marriage, kids, distance, all that, we said, okay, how do we push past this stuff? It's gonna happen. How can we not be a part of that cliche? And that's where the Order was born, and that's where we came up with the marathon.
Natural 19, Ember die.
Okay.
Natural 20! Natural 20!
What the hell?
Now, playing this game since we were all so young, after a while you start to try and push the envelope. How many sessions can we get into a week? How many people can we get around one table? How many modules can we complete in a given time frame? You start asking these questions, and that leads to trying stuff. And at first it's just 2 people, then it's 4, then 6, and then somebody asks, what's the longest session we can play in one sitting? And the next thing you know, it's 8 people playing 48 hours straight with no breaks, trying to finish as much material as possible in one weekend. And we realize, this is it. This is how we do it. We all get together at least once a year for an entire weekend, and we try and knock out as much as we can in one sitting. One marathon session. And that opened up a whole new world for us, where we kept this core group together and started accomplishing goals for what we wanted to get out of the game. And some people go golfing, some people do hunting trips, some people go on vacation. We marathon.
Amber and I, natural 20, opening roll from the GM, kills Clint the first shot. We're all like, we just started playing!
We've been doing this for a long time, and over the years you start to run into the same stuff over and over again, so it can be hard to find something new that really gets you excited. So we started adding things to the game to kick things up a notch. We started really creating detailed soundtracks and had themed food for specific adventures, added props, we threw in cosplay. Eventually we instituted a dues system and started buying maps and miniatures and terrain. And on top of all that, we're always looking for a new challenge. Whether it be deeply embedding our characters into the setting, choosing not to optimize, utilizing the full rule set, essentially always looking for a way to play the game at a very high level of difficulty. And despite that level of difficulty, we've kept adding players as time passes. And the ones who can hack it, the ones who stay, they never want to leave the table. They just keep coming back, and pretty soon we started to say, there's more to this. We can do something special with this. And that's when we decided to do the Emerald Spire project. So we crawled through 16 levels of a super dungeon designed by some of the greatest minds in tabletop roleplaying, and we completed it in 195 hours in just 35 days. We cataloged the entire thing, we took it to Gen Con, we talked to the right people, and got noticed. And then, we came home, we started brainstorming, how are we really going to do this? What else can we play? How would we present it? And how does it benefit the community? And after a lot of work and persistence, a lot of conversations, and a ton of planning, we partnered with Paizo, and we did our first public project, the Giant Slayer Endeavor. And 3 years later, here we are. We're trying to blaze new trails and really get the most out of the game and leave our experiences and resources behind for others. Everybody is doing video. There's a lot of excellent YouTubers, Facebook Live, all those things. But pretty early on, we made a conscious decision to keep this thing as analog as we could, do it old school. So we said, let's keep some mystery to this whole thing. Let's show our game in a dramatic way, but let's give people just one frame at a time and let them fill in some of the details with their own imaginations. So we aren't going to talk a lot about the game or tell you how to play yours, but what we will do is show you what it's like to be part of a professional role-playing group. We'll give you access to our data and experiences and try to pass on some of the ideas and wisdom we've gotten after 30 years at the table. And whether you discover a new way to draw maps, or a spin on character development, or breaking down preconceived notions of what an RPG can be, if we're lucky and we do our job right, everyone who's a part of our community can take something valuable away from the experience.